Welcome to the Airgun show. We've got a night shooting special this week. Later on we'll be taking a look at the Tracer LEDRay F900 lamping kit. But before that, I'm out ratting with the NiteSite. We're out on the farm this evening to try for some rats. Now we've picked a wet night, so we're going to be confined to the buildings, and it is still fairly early season, so I'm not expecting to see lots and lots. However, there are usually a few rats on this farm, so I'm confident that we should get a few shots. I'll start by talking you through the kit I'm using this evening to save you from having to ask in the comments. Now the gun is the Air Arms S510 Ultimate Sporter, and that's in legal limit sub 12 foot-pound 177 caliber. It's fitted with the R-TEK silencer, which keeps it really quiet, and the 10-shot magazine is very handy in the dark, saves me from having to fumble around with pellets when I need to reload. I'm using this with Air Arms Diablo field pellets, which it shoots very accurately. The scope is the MTC Genesis UL, and that's attached with sports match mounts. But the most obvious piece of kit on the combo tonight is the NiteSite Wolf, and that's in the new R-TEK guise, which boasts some fantastic features including one-touch recording and quick focus. However, I talked in some detail about this piece of kit when we were out rabbit shooting with it a few weeks ago, so I'll leave it at that for now. One piece of kit that really is worthy of mention is the NiteSite laser rangefinder, which we've not featured on the show before. Now, calculating distance in the dark is notoriously difficult, especially when you're looking at the one-dimensional image of a night vision device. So this should be a very handy piece of kit. Just press the button and it gives you a range reading to whatever you can see on the screen, which then enables you to give appropriate hold over or hold under to ensure that your pellet hits the mark. The rangefinder simply connects to the bracket that mounts the NiteSite illuminator and display screen to your scope. It weighs less than 150 grams, so it doesn't feel at all side heavy. As I said earlier, you just press the button to get a range reading, and it calculates distances between 6 and 500 meters, making it very versatile. It also gives you an angle reading, which enables you to further hone hold over or hold under if you're taking uphill or downhill shots at a very steep incline. So, that's the kit covered. All we need now is a few rats to try it out on. The rain's really coming down now, so I'm certainly grateful to be able to shoot from the comfort and shelter of the farm buildings. The light at the front of the NiteSite is only visible because we're using a night vision camera. It can't be seen by the naked eye. The flickering from the laser rangefinder is also invisible unless viewed through night vision optics, so it's not going to spook our quarry. Well, I've picked a spot that gives us at least plenty of cover because we're in a large barn here, and I can cover a gap between two buildings where the rats are usually moving up and down and picking up spilt animal feed that finds its way into there. I've not put down any baits this evening, firstly because there's already grub there in the shape of that animal feed, but secondly, if we don't see anything and it turns out we've set up in the wrong place, we can always just move on, try somewhere else. The first few scans through the NiteSite reveal an image that's not as crisp as I'd like, and it's my fault for not setting up the scope properly for close range work. Right, one thing I have just noticed, I've just popped the range. Most of the shots I'm going to be taking this evening, I reckon they're likely to be between 10 and 12 metres. Now, while that's a nice comfortable range to shoot over, just giving a little bit of holdover to compensate for the fact that the pellet is still just below the line of sight, it does mean that any kill shots that I film through the NiteSite are going to be a little bit blurry. The MTC Genesis UL is a brilliant little scope, but it is fixed parallax, and I've got it set at about 30-35 metres, where we've been using it for rabbiting at longer range. Now, you can adjust the parallax by slackening off the front ring of the scope, but it can cause a little bit of zero shift, so it's something I prefer to do on the range so I can re-zero if need be. So I'm going to leave it as it is this evening, so apologies if the kill shots aren't pin sharp. Right, there are actually a couple of rats just peeping out from holes in a very crumbly wall down the side of where I'm shooting. Now, I'm going to try to be patient, and hopefully they'll venture out into the open and offer me a good clear shot. I bide my time, and sure enough, the rats do eventually venture out from the wall and onto the ground. Oh, that's what we wanted. The rats did eventually clamber out of the wall to come out and feed, and I've managed to nail one. There was a bit of tail flicking there, but it was cleanly hit in the head. Let's hope the other one's back before too long. I keep on scanning through the darkness until eventually I spot another rat on the move. I deliberated for too long over that one. I've missed the chance, but sure it'll be back out before too long. Another chance comes my way, and I'm determined not to miss this opportunity. This one flips about a bit. It's a common reflex with headshot rats. Oh, there you go. That one lingered to have a sniff at the dead one, and it paid the price. The farm isn't heaving with rats tonight, but at least there are a few about. Having the right gear to exploit whatever chances do come along makes a big difference, and night vision is certainly giving me an edge this evening. This rat's dead, but it doesn't want to drop. Just as I get ready to put another shot into it, it flops out of the wall and onto the ground. Well, there have been a few rats popping out the walls this evening. Now, that one came quite a long way out, so I decided to take the shot. It took an absolute age to drop, but it's flopped out now, it's down with the others, and that takes us up to 3. Well, that one was actually trundling towards me when I took the shot, but it was on a very slow, steady course, and I managed to nail it right between the eyes. And there's another one. The action's not exactly thick and fast, but at least we're getting a few shots, and more importantly than that, we're not getting wet. The rain continues to fall, and after that brief flurry of action, the ratty activity comes to an absolute standstill. Well, it's gone very quiet now. In fact, I've not seen any sign of rats moving for probably more than half an hour now. So I'm going to make that do and get the ones that we have had picked up and onto the slurry pit. Nonetheless, we've managed to bag 5 on an evening when I really wasn't expecting to see much about. The NiteSite setup really has proved its worth again, enabling me to make the most of the few opportunities that did crop up. Another successful ratting trip with the NiteSite there, even if I didn't have the scope set up quite as well as I ought to have. And now, it's the Airgun Show news.
This is the Airgun Show news. Lead pellets are here to stay worldwide. The IUCN has voted on a motion for a potential lead ban at its World Congress, but thanks to the work of shooting organisations, the wording of the motion was significantly weakened before it came to the vote. IUCN members voted in favour of a reworded motion that encourages governments to phase out, where feasible, lead shot used for hunting over wetlands. The Paralympics are over, with no shooting medals for Great Britain. Matt Skellen's performance in prone rifle was the highlight. He set a new Paralympic record, qualifying for the final in first place. But with the scores reset for the final, he couldn't keep his form going and exited in 7th. Stuart Nangle and Lorraine Lambert also reached their respective finals. Shooting organisations have panned the RSPB's latest State of Nature report. The NGO says the good work of gamekeepers receives scant attention in the report, even though it states well-planned conservation projects are crucial for the fortunes of wildlife. A spokesman said the report was a lost opportunity to bring all parties together in a common cause to help struggling nature. And finally, the November issue of Airgun Shooter magazine is out today. It's packed with hunting features including night vision ratting, grey, squirrel and pigeon shooting in the woodlands, rabbiting, plus tips on how to hunt around the farmyard and how to make your own shooting sticks. There are also gun reviews, ammo tests, quarry files and much, much more. That was the Airgun Show news.
We've got the Tracer LEDRay F900 multi-LED lamping kit on the bench this week. It costs £199.99 and includes just about everything you could want in an airgun lamping kit, including the option to add an infrared LED if you want to use it with night vision. It comes in a tough foam-lined plastic carry case that contains the lamp, mounts, battery and charging gear, plus some very handy extras that we'll take a closer look at in a moment. The F900 can cast a beam out to 800 metres, which is very useful for long-range spotting. Power is adjustable by means of the stepless magnetic dimmer switch on the side, and you can focus the beam by turning the head of the torch, shifting between a wide flood and a tight spot. There is very little light spillage, and you can reduce it to next to nothing by screwing on the supplied 1.5-inch snoot. Should you want to further tighten the beam and increase its reach to a seriously impressive 1,000 metres, you can get a 70mm lens head for £69.99. It does make the setup feel a little bit heavier, but the boost it gives to performance is remarkable. And it comes with its own snoot to reduce any light spillage. The multi-LED kit enables you to switch between white, red and green light by means of its interchangeable system. It's very easy to use, and because it uses different coloured LEDs, there's no need for light reducing filters. You can also use it with night vision by switching to the infrared LED, which costs £49.99. The lamp simply switches on and off with a flick of the switch at the tail end of the torch. The kit also includes a stock mounted switch, which you just screw in place of the conventional tail switch. With the stock mounted switch in place, you can flick the torch on and off without having to compromise your gun hold. My favourite feature of the LEDRay F900 is its mounting system. You get attachments for 1" and 30mm scopes and a Weaver adapter, but most impressive of all is its angle adjustable cradle. Slacken off the clamp and it acts like a ball joint, enabling you to ensure that the beam is perfectly aligned with the scope before you tighten it securely in place. The kit also includes a rechargeable battery and mains charger. The battery gives a continual runtime of up to 3 hours. When you consider how long you actually have the lamp on when you're out in the field, that should comfortably cover most lamping sessions. Measuring 155mm and weighing in at around 270 grams with the battery in, this very powerful lamp is exceptionally compact and comparatively light, so it won't make your combo feel too top heavy. It's very robustly built and comes with a 12-month warranty. It's also waterproof, so there's no need to panic if you get caught in a shower. The Tracer LEDRay F900 multi-LED lamping kit is a seriously impressive package. It's very well constructed and boasts some really handy features. The ability to switch between colours without compromising performance should really appeal to hunters, and the combination of adjustable beam size and power means it should do just about everything from long-range spotting to close-range ratting, picking up and reloading. It's a brilliant kit that should serve airgun hunters very well during their after-dark forays. That's all for this week, but we'll be back in a fortnight. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And if you aren't already a member of the BASC, have a look at their website and check out the benefits you could be taking advantage of through Airgun membership.